Good morning and welcome to episode 147 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down2dunk and get The Athletic for $1 around for 6 months. I am Luke. Joined this morning by Andrew. I'm just fucking to be here today. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Slam through.
And Jay.
It's Jay.
It's a FriPod on a Thursday.
It's a Thursday FriPod.
Yesterday.
And we all slept in. And by we all, I mean me and Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor will be here. I am here. Sorry we're late.
I was on time.
I don't know what's wrong with me, man.
I know.
It's part of my aging.
Sleepy boy.
Sleepy pee-pee.
Sleepy pee-pee. I saw yesterday that Shea made the first team All-NBA again.
Yay.
Pretty cool. Second All-NBA selection 2 years in a row. Only done by 2 other Thunder players named.
Kevin Durant
and
Russell Westbrook.
Yes. They now have 19 All-NBA selections, 10 first-team All-NBA selections, which both lead the NBA since the 08-09 season.
Nice.
Good job.
Pretty crazy.
My hat's off to you.
Yeah.
Hats off.
And I mean, obviously, that was not a surprise.
No.
The all-defensive team maybe was more surprising. The fact that neither Lou nor Chet, was that surprising to you?
I was not surprised.
Now, who do you bump for one of those two guys?
Yeah, let's take a look at the list.
You're not going to bump Rudy. You're not going to bump Herb, probably.
Should.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, Lou is just as good as, like, some of those guys.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, why is Lou the bumpable one? Is what I would say.
It's a great question.
I think because Thunder weren't on TV. Same reason as a lot of stuff like
Their
that.
visibility.
There's just, not enough people know because not enough people have watched.
I do think there is some truth to the fact, like, narrative is always so important in these awards. And I'm like looking ahead at next year after what Lou did and kind of the narrative around him in the playoffs. I think there's a chance that he would have a higher likelihood next year. Not only because the Thunder will be on far more national games, but also some of the people that vote for these awards are just casuals. And I know you always remind me, like, well, and nobody can watch every single game, but somebody voted for Domas.
Yeah, I mean, that's like probably Mark Jones.
It's just like defense is so weird because it's just like it's more reputation than anything.
Oh, 100%.
Like Rudy Gobert, he's the best defender. Like he's very good at defense. Like everyone has that in mind. And like that, there was talk the other day that like he's not that good.
Yeah,
like, they cooked him.
Well,
and so I hold all defensive team doesn't really hold any water to me.
Yeah, I mean, like Alex Caruso, Jalen Suggs, Derek White, all made the second team. Like Dort should be in for at least for one of those guys. I think having Drew Holiday on there makes a lot of sense. He was really, really good. Part of the reason that Boston was awesome on the defensive end that season. And then Jaden McDaniels, who's had a really great defensive year. But like Alex Caruso played for a Chicago team, and this is where, like, when Luke said reputation, like that's all about reputation. Who actually watched Alex Caruso play defense this year? I bet, like, of all the voters, I would guess they maybe watched like 2 games.
Yeah.
Of Alex Caruso.
But I did hear.
But people talked a lot about Alex Caruso, and they talked a lot about Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs, I'm sorry, like he had a really fun year too.
Yeah, that one's weirder.
Like Dort had a better year than he did.
I think next year, if with all the talk about Dort over the playoffs, if the Thunder have a strong start and play on Christmas, I think he will be on one of those teams.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he'll make it just based upon what he did to BI and Luka in this playoff.
I think so too.
Because like now watching what the Mavericks look like away from the Thunder, like both and against the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
the Mavericks have way more breathing room.
Players.
Yeah, way more breathing room. Yeah. So I think Lou Dort will make it next year. No, I think almost no matter what, unless he gets hurt. Like I think he will be on one of these teams, and it is like a year behind. It's kind of like the executive of the year. The executive of the year isn't one, now, or I guess next season. It's won by what people did, years before.
2 or 3 years. Once the decisions they actually made are starting to like develop.
Yeah.
Like Sam Presti, you could see winning it next year, the year after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah. I think Presti's never won it, and there's a chance that he could win it next year just because everything just is behind.
I would say that's controversial that he's never won it. Would you agree? Deserves.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also like Eric Spoelstra from the Heat, who everyone acknowledges is like one of the best coaches ever, has never won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, true.
And some of that is the Heat usually underperform in the regular season and overperform in the playoffs, and
the years where he really, those LeBron years, everybody gives credit to LeBron, and not to Spoelstra, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost always you win the award when you do something unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Mark won it this year. He's a great coach, but he also won it because a team made a substantial jump. A 17-win jump, first seed in the West, like all of those things. I think the thing that makes me insane is I'm like, James Jones won Executive of the Year. And he has to, and he had one off season where I think it was when he constructed the Chris Paul led Devin Booker, went to the finals, all of that. But I'm like, I would be so angry if he was my general manager.
Well, they're on the precipice of I think completely falling apart.
Yeah, they are.
And so,
and the stuff that he said about the draft,
oh, it's so funny. It's gold.
Especially in hindsight, you're like, yeah,
it's beautiful. Huh? It's so good. But yeah, the Thunder had 3 schnubs on the all defensive list that was released earlier this week. Lou Dort was snub number 1. He had 34
snub 1
points. 36 points got Drew Holiday the last spot. So it was close. Like he was almost there. Chet Holmgren had 21 points.
Snub 2.
And then Shea had 19 points.
Snub 3.
Those are your 3 schnubs.
Why don't they have 3 all defensive teams?
I don't know. I don't know why they decided that.
Because don't they have 3 all NBA teams?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of like it. You got to really earn it.
Yeah.
I think because after that, like most years, it would just completely fall apart. Like it's
completely
random.
Yeah.
And I also appreciate the fact that they only do 10 positionless players.
Yeah.
So it's the top 10 most influential defensive players in the NBA. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. It's neat.
Neat.
Fox and Sabonis both got first team votes from whoever on their broadcast team got a vote, I would guess, in Sacramento. Let's see who else was weird. Aaron Nesmith got a 1 second team vote. Brandon Pajemski. Brandon Pajemski got an all defense vote for the second team. That's just insane. Everybody else is fine. That was voted here, but that is a wild one. That is an absolutely wild one. And it's probably just because he took a lot of charges. But to think that Brandon Pajemski is one of the 10 best defenders in the NBA.
Psycho behavior.
It's insane. And it's probably got to be somebody local. And that's the thing is people will tend to vote for the guys that they watch the most,
Who's the guy that's in the media that blocks everybody from San Francisco?
Oh, you're talking about Tim Kawakami?
Yeah, was that him?
Might have been Tim Kawakami.
It's probably him.
Loves charges.
And the Warriors.
Yeah. I thought we could go through and give every player on the team a grade for the season.
Oh, grades have just come out. School's over.
School's out.
School's out for summer.
Straight A's, baby. Let's go.
Grades are due. I thought we could give them an A, B, C, D, F grade for the season. And then we could for their play on the court, and then we could give a vibes grade, but we can do a down to dunk scale for like the vibe that they brought to the team. What should the vibe scale be?
Vibe scale. What's
You are the
vibe
vibe
man. Let's do, I don't know. So we're wanting like a thing like cereal scale.
Yeah.
Let's do have we done soda?
Soda?
Have we done soda?
Yeah, we've done that.
Have we
You
done
could also do
soda?
Star Wars, your favorite Star Wars of the
That's hard.
movies,
That's hard.
like Empire Strike Back, highest vibe.
I guess we can do. I don't know about that.
I'm just trying to make something in your wheelhouse.
That is definitely in your wheelhouse. I kind of like that.
Okay, let's do that.
Like somebody has episode 1 vibes.
But yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
who's got Phantom Menace vibes?
So I'd say number one
Poco's Phantom Menace, right?
but I know, but under number one is Empire Strikes Back vibes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We have to agree on the list. Rogue One, number 2.
I would actually say it might be controversial. Number 2 vibes, Andor.
Yeah, I'm saying we have to go movies.
Okay, fine.
I just walked in and I was trying to be quiet so I didn't interrupt, and then I heard what you guys were talking about.
We're trying to vibes. We're doing a vibe
We're
scale.
doing a vibe
Star
scale
Wars
of
movies.
the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
Top
so I
vibes-
thought this is the perfect time for
So
me. to
A,
interrupt.
Top vibes, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Least vibes, worst possible vibes.
you're this is where you're gonna
Is
say
it-
one of the new ones. Rise of the
Yeah,
Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. The last movie. Horrible.
I didn't even see it.
Horrible.
See, I
And,
didn't like.
and everybody that I've said that to said don't see it.
Don't see it. Don't.
I didn't.
I liked it.
I thought the Last
Horrible.
Jedi was worse than it. I know this
No,
is where
it's
you
not.
and I
It's not.
diverge.
It's not. So let's go second best.
Yeah, Rogue One.
Rogue One is really
Rogue
good.
One, New Hope.
I'm fine with that.
Return of the Jedi.
Let's just give it. Let's just give it Rogue One.
We can also just go by feel as we go.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Okay.
Let's give everybody a grade that played for the Thunder.
We're giving
How about that?
Taylor, so you know, you just woke up once. Good morning. Good morning.
You sabotaged.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're giving everyone
I
grades,
can't even say sabotage. Just
grades, and vibes grades.
okay.
Vibe grades.
Vibes grapes. Got it.
Vibe,
We're handing out
vibe grapes. Vibe grapes.
Let's start at the bottom with our good boy Poku, who played 60 minutes this season for the Thunder.
What a good boy.
We'll give him an F. We'll give him a Phantom Menace. We'll give him a Jar Jar Binks.
We'll give him a Jar Jar
Far-
Binks.
Okay.
I wouldn't give Phantom Menace the worst.
No, and I wouldn't give Poku the worst either.
I'll give him,
But I definitely give him Jar Jar Binks.
I'm definitely because I am trying to give him Jar Jar Binks
okay, that's fine.
because he was our Jar Jar
Okay, that's
for
fine.
years.
He was.
No, Phantom Menace wasn't the worst, man. He had Darth Maul. Can't beat that.
That's right.
It's working. Bismack Biombo. We'll give him another quick grade. We'll give him a D, and I'll give him what kind of vibe? I mean, I thought he brought great vibes.
Honestly, that's a Return of the Jedi, man.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi vibes. The
Yeah.
dude was great. The dude loves to talk, and he's awesome. I like
Return of the
Bismack.
Jedi, man.
Okay.
You get the
great to-
Ewoks.
Great to have him here. Playing 91 minutes, Davis Bertans. Another quick grade.
I'm giving him an F.
Okay, he
And
failed.
vibes. Rise of Skywalker. vibes.
Rise of Skywalker
Yeah,
vibes.
not great vibes.
It was weird. He got kicked out of the picture.
I
when
could
they
disagree
were-
with both.
Yeah.
I
Horrible
disagree with all of
vibes.
that.
What do
They kicked
You
him
thought
out.
he had good
They
vibes?
kicked him
He
out of
didn't
the
have bad
picture.
vibes.
They kicked
The
him
whole
out
story
of
of
the
that
picture.
picture is the fact that he made the decision. He's like, man, this is y'all were way closer to trade for way longer. Let me step out of
because
this.
his vibes were bad.
No.
Yeah.
No,
If
that,
you had
no,
good vibes,
y'all
you
are
wouldn't
so
do
full
that.
of it.
Yeah. If
Good
you
vibes.
had good
That's
vibes,
not
they
what
want
happened.
you in.
Yeah. Eugenio
Davis
Maru-
was fine.
What's your vibe grade then?
I mean, he's a very like what I'm thinking like what's the most like the whole prequel trilogy. I'd say
Trilogy is in the scale.
Prequel trilogy is
in the
not
middle.
that bad.
yeah,
It's in the middle.
That's what I just said.
And
Yeah,
even
is what I
like
said.
literally
Just said
higher
that.
and even higher than the middle. Like it's pretty good. It's like a 6 or 7.
No, you can't say 7.
What's
Yeah.
the second one? So it's Phantom Menace, and then it's
Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones,
he's
Yeah,
Bartons.
And then-
Bartons is Attack of the Clones,
and then
the one I forget.
what's the third one?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Shout out.
Really,
Revenge of the
they've
Sith.
aged incredibly well. I really like all of them.
Cha-cha pizza.
Mike Muscala, who once he got back to the Thunder, shot 1 of 11 from 3.
Vibes, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, give him Empire Strikes Back vibes. That's
Performance, probably a C to D.
great. Yeah, let's just give vibes for the following players: Trey Mann, vibe.
Oh, Empire.
Empire Strikes Back.
Let's get an Empire.
for sure. Lindy Waters.
Empire Strikes Back, baby. Love Lindy.
I do love Lindy. He's great.
I love
I'm gonna
him.
give New Hope.
You know
vibes.
what? He's had some great outfits. He had some great fits.
Yeah,
The cowboy one
Popping
coming
off
off
in the
the
playoffs.
airplane was
Yeah.
pretty fire.
That
Yeah.
was great.
New Hope
Yeah.
vibes.
Okay. New Hope. New Hope.
Pookie looking fire.
The Pokenator's looking absolutely fabulous today. That was classic Poke. You a Pookie guy?
Nope.
You on TikTok?
Nope.
This guy that
I know.
talks about
I know what
his
it is.
wife's
My
outfits.
wife
It's
showed
my
it
wife.
to me.
Pookie.
Uh-huh.
The Pookinator.
It made me super uncomfortable.
another classic Poke outfit. I have a lot to say about those people, but I won't.
I'd like to go back and give Javis Bertans and Emperor Palpatine. Vasily Micic. The guy one of our
New Hope vibes.
Okay, go ahead.
No, horrible vibes.
Bad vibe.
Horrible vibes. I would even say lower than the lowest.
What?
Why?
I just don't vibes bad.
What's your deal?
Dude, he had
him
adult
out.
braces.
Get them out of there. Vibes.
So you're
bad.
kind of like the Star Wars Christmas special.
Star Wars Christmas special vibes. Bad.
Oh
He's
man.
bad.
I did not
We
get.
don't
bad
even
vibes.
we don't even talk about it.
I-
George Lucas doesn't even acknowledge vibes.
Well, I feel like you're unloading on
It's not-
Micic
Yeah,
for
what's
no
going
You're
reason.
on?
taking all of your frustration on the
Bad
game.
vibes.
You have a weird interaction with him or
No,
something?
just bad vibes. Bad vibes. Don't like him.
I'd like to know psychologically what's going on here
Just don't like
with you.
I thought he was a lovely man.
That's what I'm saying. New
he was
Hope.
fine.
New Hope.
New Hope.
Not for me.
Yeah. Oos, who played 365 minutes, 1 minute for each day
A
of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Good job.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith
I'm okay with
vibes.
that. Okay.
So
Okay.
not going to ruin your day,
Yeah.
but not.
But also, maybe you shouldn't let your kids watch the end of it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have the high ground.
I
I hate you.
His play on the court, he shot 42% from the field, 30% from 3.
Yeah.
87% from the free throw line, 14 of 16. Shout out. Won a G League championship and was the finals MVP for the
MVP.
Blue.
There you go.
MPP.
I give him like a C for this year,
Yeah.
including the G League.
I don't care about Usman Jang.
I'm gonna give.
But you know what? His minutes with the Thunder.
I mean, you were the one who told us to put some oos on it before the season.
I
Yeah.
did, but then I just saw him. Anytime they tried to put some ooze on it, it did not
what's the
really
worst
do
vibe?
anything for me.
What's worst vibe check rating?
The worst is Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of
All right, you're
Skywalker.
getting close to it in this segment. I
Is
just
it
want
ooze?
to warn you.
Why?
Your vibes.
I'm sorry. I'm just a little upset.
You gotta up your vibe game.
I got you.
You gotta get to Jar Jar.
I need you to give me your best Jar Jar right now.
No.
Give us.
All right, you're not.
I don't know what he says. Give me a line.
Lisa Jar Jar Binks. That's pretty much it.
All right, vibes are back. Gordon Hayward next on
Oh,
the list.
yeah.
447 minutes.
Get that guy out of here.
Shot
What?
51% from 3.
He's a Rise of Skywalker.
On how
Tons
many
of
attempts?
anticipation,
He's- no.
zero
15 of
performance.
29.
No, this is what we're gonna get because originally the vibes were high when he came in, but then bad.
Luke, I can't do this
So-
with you.
So the number, what was number 7? The newest of the first of the new trilogy. What's that one?
That's called The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. He's Force Awakens. Originally good, but
Dude.
not good.
No.
You can't bash
When you first got him, you're like, okay.
I know,
okay.
but we're talking about, dude, listen, now that we know what we know about Gordon
Right.
Hayward,
Right. It changes everything.
it should change
Okay.
everything.
I'm
you
fine
can
with that.
put that. You can put that filter on everything. Now that you look back at his entire time with OKC,
Yeah, it's like
And
you
you can
watched
see
the
it.
movie and then found out like the lead actor has just some problematic tweets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
You're like, I can't.
That's
I
exactly
just
right.
can't
Jay.
support this.
Yeah.
How problematic we talking?
I mean, it's-
Not problematic enough to make me feel uncomfortable when I said that.
Oh.
Okay.
yeah, he's whatever the lowest is. Is there something worse than the Christmas special?
Anything that George Lucas was planning to do that didn't happen because of Disney purchasing them.
Okay. What was that?
I don't know, but that dude made some crazy things. After I watched the Indiana Jones Crystal Skull, I was like, he doesn't need to make movies anymore.
Yeah, that was really
So
good.
bad.
I mean, bad. Yeah,
I hated it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and I'd say he gets an F for his play on the court because like he totally failed to fill the role that he was supposed to fill. Like it was embarrassingly bad. And then the way he
But
acted
it was
after the
Mark's
season-
fault, man.
Isn't that crazy to think that that's the way that he thinks about it? Like that's insane.
Delusional.
He's absolutely delusional.
I don't know. Do you think he really thinks that, or do you think this was just he thinks this is a good strategy to keep getting an NBA contract?
I think he for himself has to think that.
I think he does think
he can't sit there and say, I'm not good enough. I wasn't like I didn't do it right. I didn't accept the role that they gave me. I suck. He can't say that.
But it wasn't even, I don't want to get into this too much, but I'm like, it wasn't even that he was bad. Like he wasn't bad.
Right.
It just was non-existent.
he's passive.
That was it.
Here's
Like
the thing.
it's not the fact that, he shot. I would have been pleased actually if he shot. Hey man, I just wasn't hitting shots this year. Versus I would literally get close to a wide open rim and then try to find somebody to dump the ball off to.
Here's I think the deal. If you guys got a new job and you did not like your job and what you were being asked to do, you would be crappy at that job because you're like, I hate this job. I don't want to do this job. I wish I was doing my old job. I wish I was doing a different
I wish I
job.
was playing for the Hornets right now.
I wish I was playing more, and yeah, probably. So he was doing bad because he hated what he was asked to be doing. So he was doing
No,
worse.
this is you believing what Gordon is saying, though.
no,
That he was asked to not.
no, because the blame in that scenario, I put the blame on him.
All he has to do is just shoot the ball.
That's the thing. Being you cannot be passive in the NBA.
He just needed to shoot the basketball, and he might have actually gotten more minutes.
Yeah.
Like then he could have earned minutes.
Dude, look how many minutes he got being this passive.
Yeah, I know.
He was given so many opportunities and over guys that were on the bench that would not have been that passive.
Yeah.
And that would have been aggressive. Like
he played
Kenrich.
almost 500 minutes. He played almost
That's
100,
insane.
almost 100 minutes more than Oos. I mean,
Yeah.
come on now.
Come
okay.
on. Now.
All right, Jay Will. He played 69 games,
Nice vibes off the charts.
almost
off the
900
charts.
minutes, shot 36% from three. And the vibes are like
Ugh.
way
Empire.
off the chart.
Immaculate.
Way off the chart.
Empire Strikes Back, bounty hunter scene.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
100%.
High.
See, Jay made a good scale, and you were like a little bit of poo-pooing it, and now you're like on fire with it.
We're talking about IG-88. We're talking about Bosk. We're talking about Zuckus. We're talking about Forlom. We're talking about Dengar. Vibes.
I'm just not even close to like your level
I'd give him a B.
of Star Wars because I have no idea what you just said.
Those are the bounty
Yeah.
hunters.
Wasn't as impactful as he was last year. It felt like charges
just had
were
a
way down.
He just had a smaller role, and also like people
Yeah, he
actually
was the
game plan
starter
for
for
you.
like half the season.
Yeah,
last year.
people actually game plan for you with the charges.
What did he shoot from the 3-point line comparatively?
36% last season he was up over 40
What he shoot in the playoffs
in the
from
playoffs.
three?
He shot 40%
That's great,
and brought great vibes.
bro. Just stupid.
I'm a Jay Will. I like Jay
You
Will.
just can't.
Stupid
I just think
vibes.
he should be in Oklahoma City for his entire career.
He seems like he could be one of those guys for sure. Another one of those guys could be Kenrich Williams, who also played 69 games.
Nice.
Played 1,000 minutes, shot 39%
I think from
from
this
three.
point on, it's vibes are all Empire Strikes Back.
I guess we'll find out.
Kenrich's season was not as impressive as I thought it was going to be. Like I thought he would play, especially in the playoffs. I thought he would have a more substantial role.
Yeah, I did too.
So I'd still give him a B just because I love Kenrich, and when he plays, I appreciate it
Mhm.
regardless of the outcome. But
Mhm.
that's my grade.
He took 14 free throws across the season. Goose took more free throws
Oh
than
wow.
him. Olivier Sarr in 98 minutes took more free throws than him. Davis Bertans took more free throws than him in 91 minutes. It is one of the weirdest stats. He would go like weeks and weeks and weeks without shooting a free throw.
Yeah.
It was really just one of like the more bizarre things about this season. Oh man. Aaron Wiggins, next on the list, 25 years old, played 1,200 minutes this season for the Thunder, shot 49% from three, 59% from two, 78% from the line, and was just a great teammate to all.
Those percentages are insane.
Yeah, and I would assume that he has like one of the best shot qualities of anybody on the team.
Yeah.
Because like he's like
That's true.
usually like the fifth best player on the court or fourth best player on the court when he's out there, and he's being given the ball in like very advantageous situations, and he takes advantage of it. So I give him an A for the season. I thought he was really good. I thought he played really, really well this season.
I know it wasn't a shot. It felt a little bit like a hidden shot when you said he's usually the fourth or fifth best guy on the court when he's playing. And I don't have enough right now to argue against you.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying what it feels like when you said that. As a
Yeah.
Wiggins lover.
He's a nice player. I mean, he averaged 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist per game.
Doesn't feel like that though. So vibes.
Vibes. Are you trying to lower his vibes?
No, they're up.
They're up. Okay.
I'm saying his vibes are so good. In my head, his points per game,
higher.
way higher.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it.
Jay's ordering a little coffee instead of participating in the podcast.
I'm not. I was looking at something that spiked my interest on the way in. So leave me alone.
7 brew. It's
Seven
good.
brew.
7
Is it?
Yeah.
I just was like, what the crap even is that?
New coffee
228 locations nationwide.
based out
Really?
of started in Arkansas. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Wow, that was I did not expect that to happen right then. Okay, Aaron Wiggins. Anything
All in.
else? Anything
Yeah.
else? That needs to be
Empire
said?
Strikes Back. A. Let's go. Move on.
How much do you want to pay him this summer?
I don't know. I always have to
What?
do this thing where I have to look at what people got paid last year.
I know this is so hard. I don't know what it changes every year. I don't know, somewhere around 8 to 10.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. What about Isaiah Joe? 1,400 minutes this season, age 24 season, 41% from three, 56% from two, 86% from the free throw line. He had a really nice season, Isaiah Joe. Ended up starting games in the playoffs.
He's an
Started
A,
games in the
and
playoffs.
he's an Empire Strikes Back for me.
He's one of, does anyone agree with me on this? Those percentages surprised me because he's a guy that I just expect every three. His threes that he missed stick out way more than the threes
That's
that
what-
he make.
It's
So it's like when you
Yeah.
say he shot 41%, what did he shoot from the field? 50?
From the field, he shot 45%.
45% and shot 41% from three.
it does feel like he could
That
be a
surprises
50, a
me.
50 90 guy.
It feels like
Yeah.
that. Like his
He-
misses are
The
like-
only thing that stinks for him is that performance in Game 5. Like, will be what I carry until I see him play again. Because they put him in the starting lineup. I was like, this is it.
Yeah,
And he shot 2 of 8.
it was really bad.
I was like, and wide open shots.
Just great shots. Just shots that
and
should
he
make.
came back and he played really well in Game 6. But
Mhm. And it didn't matter.
well, it'll feel real good when the team you lose is the world champions.
You think the Mavs are going to be the world champions?
can do
Well, who do you trust?
I don't know. I'm just curious. That's who you think the
I
favorite
think
is?
so.
Can you hit a Tayshawn's real quick in the middle of this segment?
Jimmy, I would have.
John's factoid bigger in a three. John's factoid
Okay.
bigger in a
No.
three.
No, it's
I think as Thunder fans, we should root for the Mavs to win it all.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
give me a break.
I have 3 reasons.
God, I'm giving this a Jar Jar.
Here we
Binks.
go. Reason number 1. If they win, then we can say, oh, well, OKC lost to the eventual champions,
Dude,
Dallas
Dude,
Mavericks.
screw that moral victory.
Boomer doom. That's a doom.
2, next year, OKC could knock off the champions. Okay. Look at how much credit Minnesota just got for beating the Nuggets.
A lot of people could knock off the champions next year, I would say.
That's fine, but it
This
gives
is
us a
busted.
chance.
This is busted.
This is busted.
This third reason better be so good.
Think about how hilarious it would be if Kyrie beats the Celtics in the finals.
That's about the only thing that I like about it.
Now, that's a little funny. Okay, I'll give you that.
That would be very funny. If the Celtics lose to the Kyrie Mavs after everything that's happened,
What was? Give me an example of what a Boston fan would say afterwards.
I will not, because we can't say those words on this.
We'll just do a
podcast.
clean version of it.
Hold on, I have to. What's my boss?
If we still had Marcus Smart,
Boston. That
That's
Mac
pretty
is
good.
smart. Kyrie wouldn't get. He. I can't do it, man.
all right, I'm hitting the button.
John's factoid bigger in a three. John's factoid bigger in a three. I know what they'd say.
All right, let's hear it.
Bleep.
Yeah, definitely.
It sound like fire.
It would be. Who do you trust, Andrew? You didn't answer the question.
Who do I trust?
Who do you trust the most
Who do
out
you
of these
trust?
4 teams that are left? The Pacers?
Definitely not the Pacers, who just literally said, "We don't care to win game 1. We'll let you have it.
I turned it off.
We'll let you."
So
have
when
it."
Tatum shot that 3-pointer and missed it, and then
Yeah.
the Pacers got the
Oh, you
rebound,
thought it was over?
and then they fouled. I think they fouled Miles Turner. I was like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Turn
Not
it off.
Not it.
No, I was like, well, not even that evening. The next morning, I wake up and I'm like, not even looking at it because I'm in my NBA content fast because I'm so still miffed and peeved about losing that series. But I open my ESPN app and I look at the score and I'm like, hold on,
Wait a minute.
what?
Yeah, it was a wild ending. The Pacers had to gift the Celtics that game.
That is
And
so
Jalen
annoying
Brown's
to me.
shot was unreal.
It was a great shot.
But the Celtics played so bad that whole game. Indiana was going to win game 1 at
Yeah.
Boston,
Yeah,
and they just
I
gave it to
I
them.
don't trust Boston at
No way.
all.
I know.
No way.
I don't, and you don't trust the Pacers. So then it's like, all right, Minnesota or Dallas.
I know. Yeah.
Who do you think would, after that Dallas performance? I mean, their role players did. I don't know if you guys already talked about this.
No,
Mm-mm.
DJJ and PJ Washington.
They played like DJJ and PJ Washington.
Yeah, they were 1 of 9 from 3.
I know they
collectively.
played like themselves, but the thing, their
I mean,
stars got
PJ
loose.
hit a giant three, though.
He did.
Yeah, yeah.
He and his defense was phenomenal on Towns. Like Towns was not very good yesterday.
Minnesota also got screwed on that goaltend.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Why would they give them that angle and then see the ball outside of the
Yeah,
cylinder
they got
and watch
screwed.
him grab it and then he dunks
And it was, I mean, it wasn't nothing. Like it was an important time in the game.
It would have tied the game at 104.
Yeah.
That was
They got screwed on
crazy.
that. That was crazy.
I could not believe that happened.
I watched it. And I was like,
I was like,
said,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's out of the cylinder
yeah, that's what I thought too.
because it bounced super high.
Really high.
It's a great play by Cat.
It was, and he thought he had it for like a good 7 seconds.
Dude, Cat was good down that stretch too. I got to.
Cat has changed
Cat's
a lot
been,
of the
like,
narrative. around
so
this-
good this playoff.
he pulled them back into the game, and then
He also hit a 3. That dude, the best shooting big there's ever
Who are you
been.
talking about? Nas Reed?
Maybe.
Dirk.
I don't
Better
know,
than
man.
Dirk.
He's better than Dirk.
I think
not-
he's
he's not a better player
He's
than
a better shooter from 3.
Y'all are crazy.
If you go and compare
don't know.
percentages, I don't think you'll be able to.
I like this Minnesota roster construction. Like I like the way they can play defense.
Jaden McDaniels is so
McDaniels
good.
is good. They just didn't. Everybody outside of McDaniels just didn't play that well.
No,
Starting
Mike
lineup.
Conley's line was like 5 points.
It was brutal.
3 rebounds,
it's
3 assists.
Conley, though. You got to give it.
Ant
to
wasn't great for most of the
I
game.
was gonna say Ant can be better.
So Ant's missed 28 of his last 39 shots in the last 2 playoff games.
It feels right. That's crazy. Good stat.
I hope it was right.
It's just made up.
I made it up.
It's not made up, but I think the last number was he's missed 28 of a certain amount of shots.
See, that doesn't feel as good.
You
Case and
guys have to
Wallace.
challenge me on it.
Yeah. He's an Empire Strikes Back vibes and A in the floor.
It's good.
As a
Good.
rookie to be as
He's really
useful as he was.
yeah, on the floor, he was great. 41% from 3. He even said like I've never shot that well from 3 in my life.
Great. Truly makes me feel good about
years,
next year.
Don't
I
say
know.
that, Casey.
When he said that, it was like, oh,
Our drafts the
It's like, I
past 2
think
years.
it's only down from here.
it's I would say vibes. He's not like bringing the vibe scale. We've got to like have a higher bar than to just be handing out all these Empire Strikes Back to everybody, because like Jay Will and J Dub just definitely deserve like
the highest bar.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I think even Shea deserves that. I think handing Case and Wallace that is maybe not the right thing, because he's not one that is getting in the mix all the time. He's a great guy, and not
You're
that
right.
nobody likes him, but like we have to reserve like the best for the best.
Here's what I said, because I think even in Empire Strikes Back there are levels.
Okay.
You know, so what I would say is like J-Dub. We would all agree probably of everyone the highest vibes. Would you? We all
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. He and
I
Jay
think
Will.
J Dub and J Will are right.
They
J-Dub-
kind of occupy that.
J-Dub is
that zone.
getting Lando Calrissian vibes.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
Which just in the movie stands out of Empire Strikes Back, stands out as the most charismatic person in already characters that we love.
yeah.
Maybe the
Great.
entire universe. Although Hans.
But he's
No.
he's out. He has more charisma than Han. He walks in, and the first thing he does is he's smoozing Han's girl, Leia. He's there, and it's just like this is the greatest person on the planet.
What did y'all think of Ron Howard's solo?
I was hoping someone would bring it up that wasn't me.
I haven't seen it.
It's extremely underrated.
Extremely.
Underrated. I think people need to reevaluate it because it's good. Donald Glover is fantastic.
I'd love to
in
see
it.
a sequel.
I would too. I would not be
Part
mad
2.
at it.
No, it's good.
I think they're gonna make a Lando Disney Plus show. That's what I think they're gonna do.
There's a guy in the chat. His name is Palpatine's Nips.
Yeah.
And he said Lando in Solo vibes is what he said.
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's good. I mean, I think
People in the
Solo is
chat are
very
agreeing,
good.
saying it's underrated.
It's very underrated because what
Solo
happened
wasn't so
is
bad.
Everyone,
high.
it did. They reacted so negatively towards it, Disney, like it was the worst thing ever made, that they stopped doing movies every year after that. It totally changed what they did.
They didn't publicize it well. They didn't market it well, but it was fantastic. It's better than the sequels.
Palpatine,
by 100%.
Palpatine's
Yes.
Nips dropping some more knowledge. He said it suffered from being released too soon after the Rise of Skywalker.
Was it after the Rise of Skywalker?
No,
I don't know.
I thought it was.
it would have been
before.
after probably
I thought it was after Last Jedi.
I think it was actually after The Force Awakens. Let me
Maybe.
see.
I don't know.
I'm on it.
I think that might be right.
You can't have that name on your YouTube account there and then
And
come
then
at
have
us
that
with
wrong.
misinformation.
Yeah.
I think that, but I think it was very good. And I just think that their expectation for what a Star Wars movie had to be, like the levels it had to be,
Yeah.
were off. Like they thought if a Star Wars movie doesn't make like $1 billion, it is a failure. And I think
It was
that
close to Last Jedi.
before or after.
It was after Last Jedi.
I think that was hard because people Last Jedi, for whatever you
Last
say,
Jedi so
I think it was very good, but I think it is
Sounds so
controversial in that way.
There were just like really boring parts of it.
they just ruined Luke Skywalker. That's my opinion.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's true. They make it. Yeah.
I'm okay
Just
with
ruin
that. I'm okay with that.
Why
I
did
they?
liked it. I really liked it.
I'm gonna-
They ruined him.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
So much so that
Here's the problem.
so much so that when when Luke comes back at the end of Mandalorian, it was like I felt the first like that's who Luke was supposed to be. And every other narrative around Star Wars, he didn't become this like pud that moved to an island and stopped doing stuff. Like he became this one of the greatest Jedis there ever was.
Well,
man.
you're wrong. Actually, Jay, in the original canon of the books, he turns bad.
Yeah, but I'm
after
saying
that.
either way, he didn't become this like pud on an island doing nothing.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. The problem is J.J. Abrams. He wrote the first movie that in the new trilogy, wrote it, and the problem with Disney is they said write this, and they wrote it with no plan for movies 8 or 9. There was no plan, and so then what they did was after they did it, they said Rian Johnson, "Hey, write the second movie. What's it about? We don't know. Just write it." So then he wrote it and kind of subverted a lot of the expectations that had been built because 7 is essentially just New Hope.
I've always
Exactly.
said that.
Exactly.
I've always said
So
that.
there's not. So then Rian Johnson said, "Well, I'm not just going to do Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to change a lot of the stuff and subvert a lot of things so that we could then go to someplace interesting." And then what they did in 9 was saying, "Hey, all of that stuff about 8 is completely wrong, and this is with a story that J.J. Abrams originally wanted to tell. Just completely changed it." And so they didn't have a plan, and we don't have a plan.
For Case and Wallace.
Yes, when there's no plan, you're not going to make good movies. If you're not going to say, "Hey, this is the plan for 1, 2,
I
and 3,"
agree. It was they fumbled the bag.
because they didn't have a consistent vision, and they didn't have a
Tell some
consistent
life lessons, Luke.
Oh, they just
How important is a consistent vision?
It's really important because if you jump from vision to vision to vision, they're not going to match up, and
Which
it's going
probably
to suck.
Division.
Which
Ooh, nice.
true.
we got Tony Robbins over here.
That's a bar.
Case and Wallace, Darth Maul. Let's go to Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I don't want to do this.
We're doing it.
Vibes. One of the prequels. No, one of the sequels. The ones we just talked about ad nauseum. He's the Last Jedi.
I would do Last Jedi because
don't. We don't need to
controversial.
go
Because
further.
controversial.
Controversial. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Play on the court. C minus.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say give him a D. He had some nice stretches, certainly down the end of the season. He didn't fail,
No.
but he
No.
certainly struggled.
And the hard part about Vibes is it was like controversial, but man, that post, he showed such maturity
He was great.
at the end of the season.
He was great.
And
I was very impressed.
he needs to go somewhere else.
I was very
for him.
impressed.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
I honestly believe it would be the best thing for his earning potential to go
Yeah.
play somewhere else.
Go play for the Spurs.
I mean, that would be great for him to play for the Spurs. I don't know it's the best thing for the Spurs because are they really just going to start putting as
Less
many
shooters.
Less shooters. Yeah.
non-shooters are on Wemby? I just don't think that's the
It
right
doesn't
thing.
matter whenever Wemby literally can just do anything.
But it will matter. Like it will matter.
Yeah.
You know, like it mattered like who you put around LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, for him to like actually win championships, like it mattered.
I just think there's still some probably fool's hope a little bit that Josh will move into the high 30s, low 40s. What was he, 36 this year?
He's 33.
33.
But he's improved every year
Yep.
from 3. He went from 26 to 32 to 33. If you like to round up, 34.
I do like to round up.
Huge
Yeah.
fan of it.
Then
Yeah.
34.
Pro rounding up.
Then 34.
Oh,
That's what it is.
absolutely.
Gotta round up.
You have to.
J-Dub, the highest marks possible for both
Lando.
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 Lou Dort, I think he had an A season. I think
He's the best version of himself this year.
Yeah.
vibes. I would say he had. I don't know. Oh man, help me.
Let's say Hoth vibes. They're good.
Oh yeah, Hoth.
Hoth vibes.
Hoth.
Everybody likes Hoth.
Hoth. I mean, it's so. I mean, one, it's so good. It's in every single Star Wars video game. Can't make one without it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Wow.
awesome.
Agreed.
You know.
I'm in.
You know,
Chet Holmgren.
Same.
A season.
A season for Chet and Shea.
Yeah.
I think vibes for Shea a little bit higher than Chet, but both.
Yeah,
good,
I agree.
But both good.
Shea the thing I saw from Shea that I probably already had seen in some part, but you just get to see it more intentionally in this season, is he is the leader. Like he is a leader.
Yeah, he's the unquestioned leader of the
Yeah,
team.
and the team follows him, and where he leads them is really good. He
Yeah.
was also that Mav series, man. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he did. He performed in a way that made you think, okay, like he can do this. He can be the guy
Yeah,
for this team.
Totally.
Which he hadn't done it in the playoffs before. He did do that in 2020, and then he hadn't had a chance. And I asked him like, what was like the waiting period like in between, that playoff series and now? And he was like, it sucked. He said it was really stressful and it sucked.
He's such a competitor.
And so, which is like what you want to hear. You don't want to hear like, oh, I had a great time developing and stuff like that. It's like, this was terrible.
Yeah.
But like now that we're here and you can like see, and then like he even like really challenged his teammates, asked them like, do you think this team could win a championship? Which is like just throwing him a softball to just like, hit out of the park and saying like, oh yeah, let me give you the quote, yes, we can win a championship. He's like, no, like, he's like, I believe that we can accomplish anything. Like if we put in the work, we'll do it. And if we don't, then we won't.
He and
Yeah.
Dagnall are so like step in step with each other. It's so great.
They
I'm
both,
so
like-
glad.
They both like went to like Thunder School,
Yeah.
like-
but that's exactly, you want your head coach and your star to be just on the exact same page.
Yeah. And if you are a person that wants to argue that like this era is better and will be better than the first era of the Thunder with regards to like how the team plays with each other, I would say that like the cohesion of the team is genuine. And I don't think that first iteration necessarily had that, especially amongst the top level players.
Yeah.
I think there was division that existed from the beginning with Russ and KD, and they made it work in about the best way they could have. But I don't think that there was like the affinity that these guys like actually have for each other. Like each one of those guys got up there and talked about how much like, they love their teammates and that they love coming to work. And
There's
that
a
they
more
love
clear
being together.
hierarchy
Yeah.
with this team,
Oh yeah. And it totally exists from Chet and on down. Like they all look up to Shea,
Yeah.
which I think really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
I think that really, really helps. But I do think like this, I just can't shake the feeling that this team is going to do something really, really special. I just think like and I know it was a bummer the way they went out this season, but I think moving forward, like this team has a chance to be like one of like the most special teams.
You and Alex, I thought that was the best part of the podcast when you were talking about parity in the league and also this new era of the NBA being like really one of 6 teams. There's going to be 6 teams every year from here on out
Yeah.
that could win the
Yeah.
championship. And like this is a time the Thunder every year now can like just go for it.
So
I think you just have to focus on health. You have to make sure that everyone stays healthy.
Yeah.
Because that is going to be the thing that of those 6 teams, there will be one every year that washes out because they are not healthy and they kind of fall apart.
So I was thinking last night as I was watching the Mavericks and the Wolves play, and I'm like, I think it's not far-fetched to say that the Thunder are as good as all 4 of those teams. Right?
Yeah.
They lost the 7-game series. I know, like Dallas obviously was the better team for a majority of that series. But
Yeah.
the thing we saw from the Thunder most of the season is I don't know. I think the Thunder could have competed in a series with all 4 of these teams. So there's part of me that's like, man, they really missed this opportunity. Like, could they have put a couple chips down and added they have been the team that added Daniel Gafford or PJ Washington and made a difference and blah, 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 blah. But then I'm like, the counter argument to that I think the organization would say is they have a longer perspective on this run, and their goal is not to win one championship, but to be the dynasty of the 2020s.
Yeah, I think that they have the opportunity to do that with the parity that exists. Like, there's not a dominant team, and I think
and the roster construction for the Thunder just is setting them up. Like, they're going to be expensive eventually, but they're going to have 4 years before it really becomes problematic.
And that's why, like, everybody's like clamoring for them to make like this giant trade this offseason and they have the cap space, they have all this. If they don't do it, they can actually keep this team together long term. Like, they can actually keep this group together. And what you really want is to have a team that has 3 stars and a great cast around them. You don't need to bring in some big name to occupy that cap space.
Look at the Mavs.
But
look
also
at the
if you
Mavs.
did, you could start that championship run soon.
The Mavs
and you
trade
could also,
for-
you
They're
could
really
also
close.
unravel
You could screw
everything
it all
a
up.
lot.
I know.
You
I
could
know.
unravel everything so much quicker.
all it took for the Mavs to be at this level was trading for PJ Washington and Gafford. That was the difference to turn them into a true contender.
Yeah.
That's like not that big.
Oh, Thunder could have done
You know
those.
what I mean?
Thunder will be
Yeah.
able to do those moves without even thinking.
Well, and Jay, let me
So
ask you a question too. You said the Thunder could compete with they're as good as the rest of these 4 teams. Do you think though that their role players execute at the level that these other 4 teams did? Because I think that this year was like the year where Chet, Jada, Isaiah Joe, Giddey, whoever's going to be here, these guys that are going to be important players around Shea, I think they learned, oh, my level of execution and my level of consistency and the intensity and whatever, it just has to be up in the playoffs. Because I look at these other teams and I'm like, they get more consistent and bigger production from their players around their stars. Look, the stars in our series, the Mavs, Kyrie and Luka, did not have like a great series. They didn't.
Yeah, no, they did not.
Their role players got them through that series.
for sure. I see what you're saying. I think that's why the counter argument to that is the Thunder could have done something to shore up that part of the roster. Like, you didn't have to make some dramatic move during the trade deadline to shore up those sides of it. I think that as much as we've belabored this point, like, I do think the Thunder need a big. I think they need somebody that can go in, and you just saw Jay Will's limitations because he's not I love Jay Will. Like, I love him, what I can perceive as a person. I love what he brings when he brings it, but he looked small against Gafford, and he looked small against Lively, and that created problems for the Thunder, especially in game 6. Like, Lively single-handedly basically turned that game for the Mavericks in the fourth quarter. And so that's what I'm like, and I'm not saying that I'm not playing this hindsight game. I'm not trying to do that, but I think that they have some deficiencies in their role players, and it's not the wings and it's not the guards. They could use another person that can get buckets. That I kind of makes sense, but I do think you just hope at some point Kaysen becomes that, and Dub underperforming was really the larger factor in the Thunder's.
Yeah.
I have to go to work, but I'll leave and say this. Last Jedi would have been better if the scene where Leia floats in space wasn't in it. It would be so much better, and you would not hate it as much as you hate it. Everyone would not hate it as much as they hate it.
It's all Luke. Dude,
That
I just
ruined the
told you.
movie.
It's all Luke.
No,
They ruined Luke.
it's not.
Get out of here before I ruin this Luke.
I'm going to work.
Hey, have a great work day.
Like,
man.
there's a lot I know, Andrew. Like, I would love to like have conversations about could you, what should we have done, what
Mhm.
and all of that is hindsight driven, and I understand part of that
Mhm.
because it's easy to also neglect. Oh, this team was also 57 wins, and beyond that was the
Oh,
come
okay.
on over, baby. But such a successful season, such a great run, and it does feel like the beginning of something special. I'm with you.
Luke has completely ruined this chair. This chair is so
He
broken.
wobble with it.
You guys want to answer some TQs?
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
we
let's
go?
run through as many as we can, and we'll call it a day.
Okay, at Thunder_in6. Everyone is wanting us to splash this offseason, whether it's a trade or a signing, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most likely. What are the odds that we stand pat and just extend the guys that we have, continue to develop guys like Jang, and sign a couple end of rotation bench dudes? Say like a 7 or an 8. Probably an 8, because I can't say 7.
Can't say 7.
I think like they may make some move around the fringes, but
I'm
I
going
don't.
to rage if they go into the next season with the same team
Why?
because they have to
They
address.
just won 57 games.
Jay, what is
Guys,
like?
they have to address the big situation. Like, I'm not saying somebody, they have to address it. And I'm not saying they have to change the way they're playing, but just have somebody that can contribute in spot moments that could be helpful to get rebounds, to protect the rim alongside Chet. Like, they have to address the rebounds.
So even if it was just one player,
yeah, I don't give a rip. Like, I don't, you don't have to reconstruct the entire thing, but I'm like, Josh is clearly an odd fit with this team. And Sam may see it differently, and he's far smarter and better at this than I could ever imagine being. But like, there are deficiencies, and we saw them make their way into the playoff run. Like, a guy that started all 80 or as many games as he was healthy for this team wasn't able to play in the most important series of the entire year. Like, you can't tell me that the roster is constructed perfectly, because it's not. Like, they're not there yet.
Yeah.
And to sit pat just, I think, is like, I just don't want to get in the, like, we have 17 draft picks. Like, what the crap are we going to do with them? Draft 17 different guys that we're going to send 12 of them to the G League for 4 years? Like, what are we doing? Like, at some point you have to push your chips in. And I think that what he's playing is a long game. Used to play Texas Hold'em with a buddy of mine that was the most mind-numbing player, because he would fold everything for hours.
just waiting for the perfect
Just
hand.
waiting.
Yeah.
And what he was doing is he also just waited to get everybody else out of the game. Because you would put in, you would not. And it's like, sometimes I just don't want Sam to be so pick driven. And I know it's not him. Like, he wants to win a championship far more than I do, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there are clear things that you can see that aren't perfect for this team. And I don't think you have
I don't
to
think anybody thinks
I don't think you have to
perfect.
dramatically alter the roster to fix that problem. It's a good problem to be, but I'm like, to sit and do nothing other than draft the number 12 pick in an already weak draft, like,
It's a good role player draft.
which is like, just then draft at 12. I don't give a rip at, like, I don't really care at 12 if the guy's, it's too high to reach for a guy. It's like, just draft who you think is the right guy. You're at the point where you're not drafting best player available. Like, draft Filipowski at 12. Like, he's mocked at 19 or 20 in a lot of drafts. Like, pull him at 12.
They don't care. I mean, their draft board will look like it looks, and many NBA teams just don't care. Like,
Yeah, I understand, but I'm like,
that they're doing.
All right, Jay, I'll say this. I think it's a little unfair to put Presti in this box of like, he won't make big moves when he needs to, because he does have a history of making big moves when he needs to.
That's not, I understand. I mean, I understand that part of it, but I'm like, with this current team, I just don't want to be too patient. Like, I think there's a danger of being too patient.
Yeah. I also think there's a style of play that they want to play for 48 minutes. And like, the guys that they bring into the team need to play that. I don't think that they want to bring in somebody that's like Biyombo couldn't play because he couldn't play the style of play that they wanted.
Yeah, but they still signed him and put him on the roster.
Yeah. But they didn't play him 1 minute in the playoffs because they have a particular style of play that they would like to have for 48 minutes. And if you don't fit that, I just don't think you get to play when it matters. Like, they weren't going to put Bismack Biyombo in the game just because he's big.
And he's not that big.
He's smaller than
he's like 6'8".
Yeah.
But if he was Andre Drummond, Andre Drummond was not getting in the game in the playoffs.
Oh, I'd be pissed if Andre Drummond didn't get in the game.
He wasn't. I mean, they
love Drummond.
They could have traded for him, whatever, and he wasn't going to play.
I don't know. I I mean, I think you're probably right on that, but I did watch Mark go to a double big lineup in the most important games of the season.
Yeah, but with two players that play their style.
yeah.
That's why I think getting a power forward that is like that can play their style. And I don't have. I need to sit
I
down
know.
and
I've
figure
done
out
this.
the names.
We've-
So
it's
Jabaka
just hard.
Paul.
But like they need more physicality at the forward position is what they need. And so I don't know how they accomplish that, but I think that's what they need more than they need like a center to come in.
Yeah, it still addresses the same thing.
Yeah.
Like to replace Giddey with a power forward that can rebound, brings physicality, and can still stretch even in part.
Yeah.
Like I don't. This is a dumb one, and it doesn't fit the culture at all. But like 5 years ago, Marcus Morris.
Yeah, I mean the mentality, sure, not the game. but,
7
like,
years
Couldn't
ago.
he stretch at his best? He just
Yeah, but
doesn't
he
move the ball very well.
And he was just like a gunner. Like
Yeah,
he was just like,
yeah.
I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah.
No matter
So maybe
what.
like 20 years ago, Antoine Walker.
We're going deeper into that.
There we go. Maybe like last year, Anthony Davis. Jay?
Maybe Ricky Davis.
Yeah. I do try to think like who throughout history would be the guy that
Lamar Odom.
Didn't shoot it enough. Didn't shoot
in
threes
that
enough.
NBA.
Yeah, he would now.
I just don't know how good. I don't think. I mean, I like Lamar, but
Oh,
he's
come
also not, he's
on.
not the physical presence that you want, though. He's not a tone
yeah.
setter.
No.
He's
No,
like
no.
he's like a hang back. Like, what is everybody else going to do? Kind of guy.
He's a glue
Charles
guy.
Barkley. You need Charles Barkley.
We could get Charles Barkley.
Oh, Charles Barkley.
Yeah, even though he didn't shoot it either, but you like really.
He would now, though.
We'll see how good he is.
R.I.P. NBA on TNT.
Yeah, next season, last season. Sad.
What is gonna happen?
Really sad. Watkins B 1531. You could make either Shea or Giddey a 40% 3-point shooter on 6 attempts per game next season. Who do you choose and why?
Shea. She's
Shea.
unguardable.
Yeah, make Shea like the super MVP.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Zach Deeg, is there a cat trade that would make sense for OKC?
Nope.
No. I mean the contract is why. You know, also he's just a weirdo. But like the contract is untenable, and this is why like they may
Wolves
even
are-
have to trade him. So starting the next season, he makes 49 million. 25, 26, 53 million. 26, 27, 57 million. And in his final year in a player option in 27, 28, he makes $61,063,800.
You think he'll pick it up?
You can go ahead and pick it up now, my brother.
Yeah, go get a line of credit from the bank right now. because he's
61
doing
million.
it.
So if you want to destroy any method of team building, sure, trade for him.
Nope.
You know, isn't it funny? Like what it took for Cat to be like Cat this year is a 22-year-old with a strong personality.
Yeah, and it's been great.
It's been great.
Bazahawk, I think the Thunder shouldn't make a quick decision on Giddey this offseason and wait until next season's extension deadline. Let him have an offseason and Olympics plus international play to improve. Bring him back in a bigger Vasa role as a sixth man. This is a biased Aussie Thunder fan. I can understand that perspective. I think that is the most likely scenario for Josh. But I do think like that it's time to explore options for him. Levi McCusker, Vicini suggested late first round picks from either the Wizards or the Jazz for Josh Giddey. Would you do that to get Josh into a better situation earlier, or wait to see if you can get something else? Or if that's the offer, would you sit and wait into the season? For me, I want a player back. Like I would like to trade player for player. I don't want a late what in the world are the Thunder doing with a late first round pick in the 2024 draft? Like what? There's like literally no point in doing that deal for the Thunder. Because the guy that you pick in the late first round is not going to play for the Thunder this next season. He's not going to impact your rotation. And like Josh, for better for worse, like played a lot of minutes for this team.
And like Josh is good. Josh is good.
And he's one of their
And he contributed to wins in the regular season, and he's productive.
yeah, and he's one of their only 6'8" guys.
Yeah.
And like you can't just replace that with a late first round pick. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Like they need to.
Go give me Larry Nance.
Larry Nance.
Oh,
I really liked him in that series.
just
Yeah,
put him
but
on
not
the
for
Pelicans
Josh.
series.
No,
No.
Okay, that's what I
Jay's
thought.
just
Sorry, I'm
saying.
still stuck.
That's
in
the person.
there. I don't know what you do with Josh. I think the best thing for him is to go somewhere else. But I think he honestly, I'd just move him to the bench permanently and use him as your backup. Like I think what he
Yeah.
ended up being in those last few games was actually
He's all right.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Pretty good.
Well, I mean, if you get a 4 like what we're talking about in the offseason,
mhm.
then I think it does make way more sense to just, if you don't have to trade Josh or anything,
Yeah.
then just, start the 4 and have Josh come off the bench.
K Bellinger 12. If the Thunder selected Tyler Smith of the G League Ignite at 12, what grade would you give the pick and why? I give it like a C because I don't think Tyler Smith can play in the NBA next year in a significant way. Like I just don't think he's ready defensively. He's got some good athleticism and his shooting is fine, but like that's not a solution for your backup center. And like maybe it is down the road, sure. Also, the Thunder have never selected anybody from the Ignite. And I think that's because a certain kind of player is attracted to the G League Ignite. And this is their last chance to pick a guy from the Ignite. This is it. The program's over. But like I would just be a little bit surprised if they did. But I don't dislike Tyler Smith. I just don't think defensively he gets on the court next year for a team that's good. Cass Rabbit, I have 2 questions. 1, will Gordon Hayward come to Legends Night in the next decade?
No.
2, if so, will he get a standing ovation? No.
Hell no and hell no.
No. All right. Are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
You remember I told you I had food poisoning?
Yeah.
It was worse than that. I think it was a full-on stomach bug. So I apologize for putting you all at risk. I really thought it was. I need to issue an apology to Zorbas.
Wow.
I really took them out last week,
Yeah, you did.
and now I don't think it was them.
Wow. What made that? Because other people in your family got it?
No, it was just me right after I had Zorbas, and then when I thought of having Zorbas, it made me want to throw up. So I thought my body knows. Body keeps
But
score.
how did you decide that it wasn't? How did you decide that?
Because I had stomach problems for 8 days,
Okay.
and I don't think that was
That
that's
wouldn't
not
be
food poisoning.
Anybody else in your family get it?
I think my youngest had it before me.
She gave it to you. What a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it would make sense because Kate's hand is broken, so she can't change poopy diapers because then she would get poop on her splint and she can't get that wet. So I've been changing every poopy diaper, so it kind of makes sense.
You should
So
wash,
Zorbas,
you should wash your hands.
Yeah, you're saying you don't wash your hands.
I'm saying I wash my hands, but come on.
Come
We
on.
we all get a little poop in our mouth. Don't we? Guys? Guys,
No.
come on.
No.
Guys?
Jay, are you miffed?
I mean, probably, but no.
Probably.
What about you? How's your finger?
Oh, it's annoying.
It's long
So,
term. Dude,
yeah.
you just need to get surgery on it. I think they just need to give you a new finger.
Well, I'm wearing this thing all the time, so I hopefully do not have to have surgery.
So when do they
Listen, I don't know. All right. I don't know. I'm G&B. It's my wife and I 15-year anniversary. So very excited.
15?
15.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
You're old.
I'm old.
You're only 26 though.
Married young.
26. I wish I was 26.
What are y'all doing? You doing
Um,
anything?
yeah.
Cool.
We're doing something for sure. It's gonna be great. All right. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. We will not have a show tomorrow, obviously, because we're doing the show today. So we'll be back on Monday to talk more Thunder off season, talk more playoffs. Sam Presti is talking next Tuesday to the media. So I will release that as a podcast, as always, and then
What are you going to ask him?
Alex and I will talk about it the next day. All kinds of things.
Just only Gordon Hayward questions.
Hey, listen, if you could go back in time, would you trade for Gordon Hayward?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about Gordon Hayward's press conference?
What if they had traded for him and then just cut him?
It'd be great. In hindsight,
Would have got about the same production.
maybe even more.
Yeah.
You would have played guys that could actually do something with the ball. All right. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.